Oh, hello, I'm live again. Yay! So, here's Lexi. You may have seen her before. Um, this is my 10,000 subscribers special live stream. I didn't have any plan going into this, so for this live stream to go smoothly, I'm gonna want some comments to start coming in eventually, but you guys have been good in previous live streams for those, so I'm just gonna sit around here and talk to myself and play with the kitty until I start hearing some stuff. I imagine I'll be here for like an hour or so. So, yeah, that's my thing. Kitty's very cute. Yes, she is. Hey, Connery! Good to see you. So, if anyone's curious, the reason why I'm mostly looking sideways right now is that my oh, okay, bye. Is that my laptop screen is actually kind of well busted. So I am staring at my second screen, but the webcam is like here. So like yeah, here's the webcam, but I can't actually see anything when I'm there. But anyway, the kitty's name is Lexi, which is short for cataplexy. It's a name my wife came up with. It's cataplexy is a medical condition that some animals have, where when they get overexcited or overstimulated, they fall over and pass out. So the goal was to have it so that Lexi is so well taken care of and loved that she just falls over from excitement or, being having all that love around, which also is kind of cool because there's cat right in the word, so it's like a triple pun. So yeah, no, I'm just getting all the cat fur out of my face. Well, thank you. I quite like it myself. We mostly just call her Lexi though. Like sometimes when she's really, really being a shit, we'll be like cataplexy, but usually not. Um. So yeah, just hanging out, and anyone has questions, I'm here. They're wondering about how I work, who I am, what I'm about, what I play. I don't think I'll be able to like get this working mid live stream. My M-box is kind of finicky if I just like plug my bass in right away. But like here's some acoustic like. Um, also, there's the fact that I was jamming last night with a couple of friends, and it gave me some pretty epic blisters. Like I can't really see it that well here, but yeah, a little bit. It's on my middle finger. So, yep, just hanging out. Didn't really have a set plan going into this live stream, which I realize is a bit not cool. Since I was talking about doing a live stream for like the past week or two now, but in that whole time, I just could not come up with like an overarching theme or anything. It was just like 10. Thanks for the question, John Doe. So, you may have heard of this little thing called palindromes. Kind of like taco cat. You know, you put a taco here, you put a taco there, and you got a symmetrical kitty. Cataplexy. It's an interesting concept, like for a bass rig. I mean, I would need to. Um, I don't know. Is Space might even still open it? Like, did they reopen? Do you know? It's a local music shop in Ottawa. They have a bunch of like used gear, pretty sweet prices. It's where I got my. It's only the 8-string bass I have that I know for sure I got there. It's been played on a couple songs on back when I was in the band called the Dead Sears, which I guess I never made an actual official announcement on like talking about that or anything. But yeah, the Dead Sears are no longer a thing, and haven't been for like a bit under a year. So I've just been focusing on this channel. Uh, well, I don't know how anyone in the comments are doing, but I'm doing pretty good, John. I just got 10,000 subscribers yesterday, so, I'm pretty stoked about that. And hoping that I can keep going with this and I get more subscribers and patrons and it blows up and I don't have to work this day job I just got like last a couple weeks ago. But to be fair, the job I got is pretty cool. It's like only for the season, but if anyone's in the Ottawa Gatineau area, you may have heard of how they're opening up this like interprovincial zip line. That's my job. That's where I got hired. They'd have me like cycling different positions, but I'm mostly in the media office answering social media, emails, whatever calls. But today is my day off, so I am not dealing with any of that. And obviously the zip line itself is pretty fun too. They're doing tests on it right now. It's not opening officially until the 24th. Bonjour, le Mosby. Oh, wait. Are you who I think you are? Let me check. I feel like I've seen your channel. Are you who I think you are? Yes, you are who I think you are. Great to see you, man. Yeah, Mosby makes some great play-along covers with tabs as well that he uses Guitar Pro as well and like tackles some really cool songs. I didn't realize until after I uploaded my cover of my tab of King Geekwick covering Tears in Heaven, but Mosby actually did it like 2 weeks before I did, but like has way fewer subscribers than I do. So it just flew completely under my radar until he messaged me saying like, hey, good job. I also did this tab. So yeah, Mosby, great tabber. You should definitely subscribe to him. Anyone seeing his name in the comments, like, good guy. Oh shit, you're right. It was same bassist, different song. Yeah, it was Wake Me Up Before You Go by Wham. Sorry, I tab so much stuff that a lot of it kind of just like jumbles in my head. But yeah, I saw some awesome Tesseract and Gojira. Even tabbed a K-Max song. So yeah, definitely check him out. And yeah, this is the part where I'm not exactly sure what to say, so I kind of just monologue until I see another message on here. So yeah, it's the Darth Mart rambling hour until I hear from more people and see more comments, and anyone has questions, please ask. And if you're going to spam the N-word in my comments, please leave. Because that happened in my first ever live stream on this thing. I had to delete the video and everything. It was a whole shit show. But thankfully, hasn't been the case yet. If anyone is gonna be, that's actually kind of a good question, Mosby. I am kind of from both. My parents are from New Brunswick. I was born in Quebec City, but I've been living in Ontario since I was 5. So I'm like entirely fluent in both languages because my parents were already francophones. So I consider myself more Ontarian than Quebecois, even though my birth certificate is technically Quebec. So yeah, that's my answer. John Doe, to answer your question, it's 42. There's some computer that took like trillions of years to calculate the answer to that question, and that's what came up with. So make with that information what you will. Yeah, I read Hitchhiker's Guide, I think about a year ago. Great read. The third part I thought was lagged a bit, third or fourth, but the rest of the book was excellent. I wasn't around to hear the radio series back when that was a thing, but yeah, if you're looking for some entertaining stuff to read, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a great read. Oh, and the movie, I'd have to watch the movie again. It's been too long. Oh, cool. So where are you from, Mosby? If you were in. Oh yeah, I guess there was also a Hitchhiker's video game. I haven't played that one either. That was from like the late '80s, early '90s or something, right? One of those like really old school games. I hear it was good though, so might get around to checking that out. Um, yeah. Oh, today's Saturday. I have this calendar that's oh, France, of course. My ancestors are from France. I've never been myself, but I would love to check it out sometime. Um, Specifically, the beaches of Normandy because history and well, pay respects. And Mont Saint Michel, I definitely want to visit too at some point, and of course Paris and all the other stuff too. Just whenever I'm able to go to Europe and can afford to go to Europe again. Um, Mozart or Beethoven? I'm like not as into classical as I should be probably. They're both awesome. I mean, like I have a couple compilations of like the big name composers out there, so I've heard a bunch of both. It's hard to say because like Beethoven is like amazing at what he does, but there's this thing with Mozart where I'm not as familiar with like his material that's not like his absolute greatest hits, but then I'll like hear some classical music playing and I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. Like it's great. Like who even composed this? And then like I'd be hearing this on the radio, let's say, and then the host afterwards be like, this such and such piece by Mozart. And I'm like, oh, okay, well I guess Mozart like really, really was cool. It's kind of a toss up, depends on the day. Like um that like unfinished composition of Mozart, like the Lacrimosa, is one of the greatest things I've ever heard too. And oh, awesome! Are you like involved with Guitar Pro or Aerobus in any way? Because I mean, that'd be cool. um, I haven't communicated with them much myself, but I sent them money when I bought my Guitar Pro license. um, Is it pronounced Lee or Lil or I think Lee. I'm not sure. And like, or which part of France that's even in. To be quite honest, I'm gonna look it up right now. Lee. Is it pronounced Lee? Lille. Okay. Sorry, I had it wrong. All right. Oh, got a bunch of new comments. Oh yeah, thanks everyone. Okay, so Lille is in the north of France. Good to know. Oh, I didn't know about his father being a phantom in the opera. That's awesome. Like what I heard of Lacrimosa was like something about someone had commissioned him to write the piece for a funeral of like that anonymous person's loved one, and then like Mozart, while writing it, was convinced that he was dying or some stuff like that. It's been a while. I should look back into it, or even watch the movie Amadeus. That's another one. It's a classic. I haven't watched it in like 10 years, but like if you haven't watched the movie Amadeus, came out sometime in the '80s, definitely give it a watch. May not be the most historically like accurate movie, but whew, it's just like trust me, it's good. Yeah, everyone, listen to John Doe. Tell us how you're doing. How is everyone in the world that's taking the time to watch my live stream right now? How are y'all doing? Hit it up in the comments. Let's see some states of mind, some emotional states of mind. This improvisational thing is a bit not my not my strongest point, but I'm making do. I mean, I have a community of loyal followers now apparently, so it's all pretty wild. Good stuff. Wait, what Harvey movie. I'm interested. Wiz, what were you saying about hers in a Harvey movie? Because like I know they had a song called Harvey, but like, is this a documentary about them or something, or just some other unrelated thing? Like I don't know, Harvey Milk or something. Oh, okay. Song was based on the movie. Okay, I'm gonna look at that up. Was it Harvey Milk? Um, I could just look it up. Um, it doesn't really say right away a whole lot. And maybe if I just looked up instead of hers Harvey, if I do Harvey movie. Oh, okay, never mind. This came out in 1950. Huh. Pretty good ratings on here. James Stewart. I don't think I've ever seen anything by him. All right, cool. Good to know. Might check it out sometime. Uh, tall, white, invisible rabbit. That's interesting. Anyway, more comments. The sun is shining bright stateside. Always on the sunny side of life. Yeah, that's a good way to go about living your life. Oh no, that's cool, Mosby. Like I get it. Like people have stuff to do. People have lives. I mean, like thanks for showing up and like let me know you're here. Like giving me your comments. And if I ever end up around Lille, I might just hit you up. So yeah, enjoy. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for stopping by. Oh, I could actually leave a comment on here as well, but I don't know what I want to comment. Intrigues. You know what? I'm gonna be right back. No, come here. Hey! Gotcha. Almost tripped. We're good. Got the cat back. She's not very pleased with me right now. But she's probably gonna bat at me any minute. She loves me. Ooh, the little kitty cat with the little squishy face. Yes, it's you. Who wants me to leave you alone? Yes, it's you. I mean, like, seriously. Look at that squishy, adorable face. She is such a precious kitty. I can hardly believe it myself. Isn't that right? Little kitty. Oh, okay. Yep, she's done. Bye. Oh, right. Fur all over my face again. Worth it. I love cats. Hello, Christina, and thank you. It took me just over 3 years of putting up tabs weekly on YouTube to get to this point. So, yeah, it's been a lot of work, but rewarding. It's even though I don't see a cent from YouTube themselves because everything I upload is copyrighted, I still have a healthy following on Patreon, and occasionally people will give me commissions on Fiverr. So yeah, I'm actually making money off of this, which is awesome. Thanks for being around, Roman. Essentially, what came into me wanting to start this channel was because when I started playing bass, it was early 2010. So I started and I wanted to learn a bunch of songs, but there were no tabs. Like the tabs that were on Guitar Pro or Ultimate Guitar, were pretty not good. And to be fair, Guitar World magazine published a bunch of tabs that were good. So that's kind of how I got my start, got learning how to play. And from that, I was able to learn more songs by ear, but I was in a situation where I kind of had to learn them by ear. And luckily for me, I have a good ear, so I was able to do that. But so with my channel, I wanted to have it as a resource for people who like don't have such an ear and want to know how to play their favorite songs on bass. I ran into this subreddit called Bass Tabs, and it's filled with people like asking like for, can you tab this song, can you tab that song? So I kind of saw it as, this is something I could fill in this like gap in the bass tab market, so to speak. So yeah, I've just been doing that since. It's been starting to pay off. Yay. I'm glad to have been able to give you many hours of joy, Christina. And you, kitty kitty, give you hours of torment. There's a joke my wife and I have when it comes to like when I play with the kitty. I'm torture human. Not that I actually physically torture her. We never want to like hurt her in any way. And when she like starts being testy or like vocal, then we'll put her down, let her do her own thing. But it's really fun to just pick her up and you little kitty kitty, you yes you are. Oh my god. Whiz, no, I am never annoyed by requests actually, because even like, yeah, it'll happen where there's a request for a song that I end up not really liking and I don't put it up on my like Patreon polls or whatever. But I want like as many requests as you can give me. That's like how I get all the stuff for my channel. Like people often talk like actually Mark, who commented just now about how my music taste matches his. Funny thing about that is most of what I tab I would have never heard of before if it wasn't for this channel and like people requesting the songs. The music I listen myself, there's a lot more like harsh vocals, and there's also a lot more like classic rock, which I don't really touch because they mostly all been tabbed already. Yeah, like nothing too interesting said. No question, just thank you for doing Puya. Puya I would have never heard of, but it was one of those things. Someone made a request, so I did the tab, and here we are. But yeah, bands like Crumb, Parcels, Think Suave, Mild High Club I was aware of, but other like, no, Hers I was also aware of because interestingly enough, coincidentally enough, I had a coworker at the time that Hers died that had went to school with Steven from Hers. And so I heard about the band from like her, like the day of the incident. She posted in like the like work group chat saying like, hey, someone I knew just died and like blah, blah, blah. As I checked out their music, it's like, oh, this is actually really good. And it's like, really, like, it's still so tragic that Hers went when they did. Like they had so much potential ahead of them. It's one of those things. Yeah, it's like rough to think of sometimes, but Crumb, I saw live in November of 2019, and it was awesome. I was second row, but yeah, I would have never heard of them if it wasn't for my tab work. So people talk about like how it's my music taste matching theirs. It's kind of like the other YouTube commenters or Patreon requesters or what have you. Like those are the tastes that match. Me, I listen to death metal. Like here's a death metal shirt. And funny enough, with death metal, like the vast majority of the time, the bass is practically inaudible, so I wouldn't really be able to tab it all that well. But when it comes to genres that I do tackle a lot, like indie, for instance, the bass line is usually very audible, so that makes it good to tab. So, yeah, that's me. My in-laws are in town, and so my wife is with them right now, and they're visiting a nature park, and I've been left to my own devices, so that's what I'm doing right now. It's kind of a mix. I'm self-taught on bass, but in the I took piano lessons when I was a kid for like 5-10 years. So like, and then my piano teacher retired, and I didn't really touch an instrument for like a little bit after. But then grade 10, I picked up the bass, and it just like it just felt natural, you know. So I just kept going from there, and yeah. So on bass, I'm pretty much self-taught, but I already had a solid base of music theory. Got some more questions here. What? Oh, the intro jingle to my videos. I covered. Well, I mentioned a bit earlier in my live stream. I don't know if you were around, but I used to be in a band called the Dead Seers from 2016 to 2020 was when that band existed. And this was the intro to one of our songs called Black Hearted Love. You can still find it on YouTube if you type like the Dead Seers Black Hearted Love. You can hear the whole song there. So I'm still like the band broke up kind of acrimoniously, unfortunately, but I'm still friends with the songwriter. So I've had his permission to use the intro riff to that song as the like intro jingle ever since. Eventually I might come up with like something else because he's still composing music. So if he ends up dropping something that I like even more as an intro riff, I might be like, hey, can I steal that? But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, pretty much, Mark. Like with death metal bass, like just to give one example, Cannibal Corpse, Alex Webster. When you hear him play, just like nothing but bass, is a god. Like he's untouchable. He's a legend. But when you have the rest of the band with it, I can't hear anything he's doing. Like you'll have the occasional bit like the strangulation chair. There's like 5 seconds where he does this insane tappy thing. It's like, okay, I can hear what you're doing there, or you know. Hammer smashed face before it goes into the verse. There's like this little before the riff hits. So like there's that, but anything else is like I have no clue what he's doing. But Insane Death Machine, I don't know if you know that YouTuber. He covers a lot of that type of stuff, and he's like generally really accurate. So if you're looking to find like learn some death metal, I suggest checking out his covers. Not that like he's got tabs or anything, but it's a resource. More comments. Anything from ABBA to Earth, Wind, and Fire to Trivium to Coheed and Cambria to Bill Withers to Coltrane. All right, yeah. Actually, I just had an Earth, Wind, and Fire tab drop yesterday. You might have seen. It was their song called "Can't Let Go" from 1979. ABBA, I had a song of theirs as an option on one of my Patreon polls a couple weeks back. Coheed and Cambria are pretty much entirely off my radar. Bill Withers, I know the hits. Trivium, I don't know them all that well either. But Coltrane, I have his album Giant Steps. So, and I also have the Miles Davis album Kind of Blue, which Coltrane was a saxophonist on. But I do want to get Love Supreme by Coltrane at some point if I can get my hands on it. Oh, I just got hungry. Let's see, I've been doing this for about half an hour. I can stay a bit longer. I'm just going to go and grab a snack. Be right back. All right, got my vegan cinnamon roll here. I'm not vegan myself, but my friend is, and I was hanging out with him yesterday. So yeah, any songs I would refuse to tab. It happened a couple years ago where I had someone back when I was just getting started message me on Reddit asking if I could tab "I Like to Move It," the theme to Madagascar 2 by will.i.am, and so there was like some slap bass insanity going on there, and the only videos on YouTube at the time were like the audio quality was not that good. So I was like, I'm sorry, this is beyond my capabilities. But I revisited it like 2-3 months ago, and there was an official upload at that point, and I could hear the bass a lot more clearly. And I was like, oh wait, I can actually tab this. And so I did it, and like messaged the one on Reddit saying like, "Hey, here's the tab," and they're like, "Oh my god, you remembered?" But as for songs that I would refuse to tab, it's hard to say because the most complicated one I've gotten was by Mono Body. They actually have two bass players, but there was someone on Fiverr who messaged me asking if I could tab it. I came up with like a combination part where like it had a bit of both bass lines, so you could like still play it on one bass kind of, but and it's fully refusing to tab us. Oh, actually, to get a kind of an answer to that question, if it's like some neo-Nazi or like NSBM kind of stuff, like if it's like obviously fascist or racist, I'm not going to tab it. When I was first getting started, there was someone who asked me to tab a Rhodesian anthem, and I did it at the time, and I still to this day feel kind of icky about it. Oh yeah, Cover Solutions is like one of my biggest inspirations. Honestly, when I first started, I messaged him being like, "Hey, I just got started on this channel. Like, here's a video I made. Like, what what are your thoughts? How could I like keep going further or whatever?" And he got back to me saying that he highly recommends Patreon. So yeah, I've had a Patreon ever since. Um, it's not. I mean, it's not like a base 101 playlist kind of like Cover Solutions has, but I do have playlists on my channel for like all my tabs by like rating them by difficulty. Like when I upload a tab, I will put them on 2 or 3 playlists. One just called base tabs, another that's difficulty 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4, 4 out of 4, depending on the difficulty, obviously. And the third one, if applicable, will be if it's a group or an artist that I've already tabbed a bunch of times, then I'll add them to that playlist. Like I've got a playlist for Crumb, I've got a playlist for Hers, I got a playlist for Parcels, and I got one where it's Yusuf Days on the drums. Anything with that Yusuf Days touches, I've found, is pretty much gold. So yeah, if you don't know who Yusuf Days is, the drummer, get into it, check him out, definitely. And Cover Solutions as well. Cover Solutions is the GOAT when it comes to tabs. He's been doing it for longer than most other people on YouTube. He's got like he's like the big name when it comes to tabs online, and like he's been focusing on bass for the last while too. So like he's the guy for bass tabs, and he also tackles a lot of the more popular songs. Me, I go for more like independent stuff, underground, like stuff where people will be like, I've looked all over the internet and can't find a tab for it anywhere. That's the kind of stuff I like doing. Oh yeah, having a flea bass and with like playing some RHCP. That good combo. Is that the one that was like pink and green? Like it was a really funky looking bass, if I remember. Davey, also awesome. I love his playing. I also find it kind of funny that he's like 2 weeks younger than I am, and I don't really enjoy how hard he leans into the memes and the clickbaity stuff, but I get it. You know, it's YouTube. Man's got to eat. And like people who depend on YouTube for revenue, which I do not, like just for the sake of keeping numbers up, will do a lot of the clickbaity stuff. So it's like, I don't like it, but you know, don't hate the player, hate the game. We're all here on YouTube, but honestly, fuck YouTube. I'm here because of the reach. But I disagree with a lot of their policies. But I also like there are some policies that do make sense, like how like the copyright thing. I get it. Like it's not like I'm featuring other people's art, so they deserve to be getting the revenue from their music being played. So like I'm fine with being on Patreon and Fiverr, but it's just that like that making yourself as like I don't know, like as clickbaity as possible. It just rubs me the wrong way. But it's not something I take I like personally hold against the creators themselves. That when I put on YouTube. Um, okay, more comments, more comments. Bassist looking to try their hand at playing with others. Um, I have never actually jammed online with other people, so I couldn't really tell you how that works. I have not that snack out, and I never actually did start eating. Okay, so I would, well, I don't know you or your circumstances, obviously, Kian, Alan, um, but there are, if you live in a city, there's gonna be musician groups like on Facebook. Um, like mine, like I'm in Ottawa, so I know there's one called Musicians Ottawa. There's another that's um, Ottawa Rock and Metal or something. But oh, and also just like groups for musicians, like looking for people to jam with. You're gonna want to get on that if it's like people you're looking for. But if it comes to like how to play with people, like and mesh properly, if you're like still really starting on bass, I would recommend a metronome. Seriously, get a metronome. It's not just a drummer thing. If you're playing bass, you want to be locked into that rhythm. And like, yeah, it depends on the like the drummer's the one who sets the rhythm, but you want to be right there with him. Um, yeah, sorry, I don't have like the most tangible advice, like just ready to go here, but that's what I have for the moment. Let's see. Oh, okay, cool. Um, Blue and orange. Yeah, yeah. Fleabase. He was doing his thing for like what 5 years or something, and then just shut down. So I guess yeah, Fleabases are gonna be going up in price pretty much constantly from now on, eh? So it's cool that you have one. Um, and oh yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying with the memes here. Oh, doesn't matter if the food's cold. It's just a cinnamon roll, and so I'll eat it either way. But for the time signatures, that's that comes with like that comes with time. It what I would recommend to get a good feel for it is find songs in like different time signatures and study them up. Like I can tell you off the top of my head, like the big one for 5/4 is "Take Five" by the Dave Brubeck quartet trio. His group anyway. He has an album called um, uh, Time Out, and the song Take Five is on there. So like that's a really good example of a 5/4. There's also the song The River by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. That's another in 5. So you can listen to those, get a feel of how 5 works. For 7, the big one is Money by Pink Floyd. Except for the guitar solo. That one's in 4/4, but the rest of the song is in 7. So those are the two like main funky ones. 3 is usually pretty easy to decipher. And oh yeah, 3/4 and 6/8, like that's when the distinctions start getting really blurry. How I define 3/4 is like you got weak, strong, strong, weak, strong, strong, and with 6/8 it would be like it's kind of like in 2 parts. But I'm probably not making much sense talking about it in person. There's plenty of like I didn't watch it myself, but when I was scrolling YouTube yesterday, I saw a recommendation for a video. It was a drummer. It was like 12 minutes long, and he was talking about like all the different time signatures and how they sound. I haven't checked it out myself, but like it had like all the different time signatures right there in the title. So like if you look up that, you might find this video I've been talking about. It might be informational. Like I said, haven't seen it myself, but could be worth checking out. Oh, thank you, Shadows. And as for the tabs being not easy to make, I've got myself quite a unique skill set where like there's a lot of work that goes into it, but I've got myself a pretty streamlined process where like I wouldn't call it easy, but for me it's self-evident what needs to be done. Oh, I'm glad I could actually give you good advice there. So Awesome. Uh, I mm, bass teacher mode on YouTube. Like, I'm not fully sure about that because once upon a time I tried. Like, someone actually paid me money to teach them how to play bass, and that's when I realized that for in person anyway, I'm not that good of a teacher. Like, me making those tab videos are about as close as I get to like effective teaching because like it makes sense in my head, but then I say it out loud and it's all just like a jumble. So often it leads more people more confused than they were when they started talking to me. So yeah, I'm kind of hesitating on the whole being a teacher on YouTube thing. Uh, Oh, sweet. Kingston. Yeah, that's not too far away. I haven't really stopped by there much, but I drive by. I used to drive by there quite often when I was living in Scarborough, and everyone else I knew was living in Ottawa. So it was like back and forth on the 401, was passing by Kingston all the time. Um, oh, okay. That's a name I don't actually recognize. Larnell Lewis. I'm going to look that up. Larnell Lewis, Canadian drummer. What do we have? Huh, that's funny. He was born exactly 10 years before I did. I was born. Oh, Snarky Puppy. Right. Yes. Okay. I'm aware of Snarky Puppy. I just didn't realize that was their drummer's name. Yeah. Yeah. If anyone listening to me ramble hasn't heard of Snarky Puppy before and is into like jazz fusion, that's not really maybe the best description, but you know, like uplifting kind of like, yeah, let's go kind of music. Snarky Puppy. Check him out. His musical thought process. So he does he have like videos talking about what how he drums or what he thinks about when he's playing music? I'm interested. On Drumeo. Okay, cool. I'll check that out. Larna Lewis hears a song once and plays it perfectly. Oh, that's sick. And there's one where oh wait, the Enter Sandman one. Okay, I didn't actually look at it, but I saw that in my YouTube recommendations at at one point of Larna Lewis listening to Enter Sandman for the first time and I guess commenting on it. So that's cool. Yeah. Okay. It's your fave. Okay. I'll definitely check that out then. Thanks for the recommendation. The Balkans have not. I've heard of the region, but I have not heard of that band. Go and Google that. The Balkans from Atlanta. Okay. Okay. Cool. Oh, looks like they haven't really been active in the past. No. Okay, they were on hiatus and then they weren't. Okay. Cool. 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 All right. Yeah, might check them out sometime. The Balkans. I don't have no idea what they sound like at the moment. Um. So are you saying like have some nice when you say have some nice simple oh right, okay, well yeah, they made the album and parted ways, but on the Wikipedia it says that they've been reformed since 2019, so take that as you will. But oh, I had something to say, I forgot. Okay, more cinnamon bun then. Issue with it being in the fridge for all of last night is that now it's solidified and it's harder to actually cut into. So, oh right, I remember what I was gonna say. Did you were you looking for like me to check him out and like make some bass tabs for him, or are you saying that like they have bass tabs that are simple? Hey, Chris's hike. Hey, no worries, Connery. I'm eating food right now, so it's all good. For those who don't know, Connery I actually know in real life. I've been friends with him since like I went to college. Good guy. Yeah. What's this movie coming out? Creepshow 3. Oh, okay, I guess that's kind of cool, but why are you telling me this? Does it have anything to do with bass taps, or are you just here to plug some movie? I'd like to keep this discussion relevant if possible, so please do adhere to that. Thank you. Scary Pockets. Scary Pockets. I feel like I've heard that name before. Scary Pockets. Uh, oh, right. They're the ones who are like covering songs as other artists. Yeah, I think I might have like heard of them before, but I haven't done the deep dive. All right. Sorry, Chris, but this is just not relevant. I'm putting you in timeout. Okay. Um, okay. Let's see. Okay, so we're caught up. I'm just gonna have some more bites of this. I am still a little hungry while I wait for some other messages to pour in. Sorry for everyone else that's like just sitting around here watching me like eat a cinnamon roll. It's probably not the best view you've had all day. Oh, it's all good, Mark. When he commented with another movie, I just hid him and like yeah, shouldn't be bothering us any longer. It was a problem I had my first live stream where someone would be like typing one letter at a time, the N word, just like N-I, and like boom, 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 and it just like entirely derailed the chat. So that was the end of that. But now I have a bit more like I can just mute you right away. London, Ontario. That's another one that I've only pretty much ever driven by when going from Toronto to Windsor, where my wife's family is from. But I have heard pretty much entirely bad things about London, Ontario, to be honest. For composing, Daniel Pellon, I feel like I've heard your name before, but yeah, for composing, I haven't. I've kind of been on like a 5 year straight writer's block. I used to compose on like Guitar Pro, had some like bass parts, synth parts, drum parts. That was usually my arrangement. I wrote some like pretty sweet synth rock stuff, but I've just been like every time in the past while that I just tried opening Guitar Pro and writing something is just nothing. So I figured I'd stick with what I'm good at, and that I'm like I won't run out of content because the world's not going to run out of music. So I always have something to do, right? When you say houses are going nuts, do you mean like they're selling for high prices? Because yeah, that's pretty much a Canada-wide thing right now. Housing, rentals, it's all messed up. Been trying to find somewhere less expensive, move in with some other people, and like it's just an entire nightmare. Yeah, 5% per month sounds about right. If you're outside of Canada, you may not know this, but like we have a housing crisis going on at the moment. Prices are through the roof, and they've just like kept climbing pretty much nonstop for like almost since I was born. Um, yeah, you'd think, Daniel. But yeah, that's not how it works. I've listened to so much music in my life, but an original musical thought, forget about it. By the way, like I know I've heard your name somewhere before. Are you a regular commenter? Um, I'm sorry I don't recognize you like right away, but I deal with a lot of people with this channel. But I know I recognize your name. Oh, okay, right. On Fiverr then. Okay, I knew your name from somewhere. And for yeah, that plants tab was actually one of my first ones on my channel that started getting some real traction. Um, that 15, 14, 15 picking part though, I'll go check that out. Let me just pull up the Guitar Pro and see if I can corroborate. Okay, open file. Old, perfect. Okay, just gotta scroll down and find Chrome on here. Chrome plants. There we go. Okay, 14, 15, sorry, 15, 14, 15. 15, 14, 15. Where are you? I'm curious. Oh, right. That like, I don't know what that chord is called, but I find it really cool. Like, you can do it all over the neck. Here, let me just grab my bass to like show you what I'm talking about for anyone else who might be confused. This chord here. So you got the 15. Oh, sorry, this is the 12. This is a 15. There we go. So we got the 15 here. You got the 14 here. 15, 14, 16. This chord I absolutely adore, and it's a chord that shows up in that Crumb song. What's cool with it too is that you can like, it's really easy on the left hand, and you can play it like anywhere on the neck. Like here it is right over here, or here. This is as much as I'm going to show you right now because it's already starting to like really mess up my blister. I've been jamming with some people yesterday for quite a while, and my fingers still haven't recovered. It's something I'm trying to work on. I do a lot more like computer work when it comes to tabbing their bass than I do like actually picking up a bass and playing it. So I've been trying to get more into that habit. This was back when I was in high school and I was starting playing the bass. Like someone told me recently, back in those days, I pretty much had a bass in my hand at all times. Like after school, practice. I mean, that's a big part of like how I got as good as I did. Just like constant practice, especially when you're like just starting to learn, still developing that neuroplasticity, learning, getting your brain used to the new stuff. It's like that's when it's really important to like hammer in that practice as much as you can. If you want to get good, obviously, if you're just looking to be like a casual player, you don't need to do some like Jason Becker, Joe Satriani, like I lock myself in my room and practice for 23 hours a day thing. But yeah, just depends on where you want to go in your musical development. But generally, I would recommend to like anyone to just practice as much as possible. So you could call it hypocritical that I'm not following my own advice right now, but I also put in my like real like heavy intense practice hours when I was first starting to learn. So you could say I'm kind of coasting on it right now, which, let's be fair, I kind of am, but I've got the YouTube channel, so yay. Hey, Echo. Job's going pretty well. I was talking about it earlier. So I'm working at the Interprovincial Zip Line. Like, for those of you who don't know, I live in Ottawa, which is like pretty much directly on the border between Ontario and Quebec, two Canadian provinces. So some people came up with a zip line going from the Ontario side to the Quebec side, and it's like they did some research on it, and it's like the first one of its kind, like the first one to cross a border the way it does. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm one of the people like either answering social media or like greeting people in. So if you ever end up trying out the Interzip Rogers zip line, you might run into me. But the job is pretty sweet. Like obviously there's some stuff that's like not as awesome, like walking into to an email to a shift in the media office and seeing that there's 71 emails to answer. But you know, it's a job. You get through it. And I've done much worse. So yeah, I'll take it. Protest the Hero. Yeah, they're great. I've had Keziah and Fortress are absolute masterpieces, especially considering that they were basically teenagers when they came up with those records. I still haven't given Palimpsest a full proper listen, but I saw them post yesterday saying like, "Hey, the record turned a year old. We've got some new music coming up." So I'm still trying to get myself to like actually set the time and listen to this damn thing, or even see them live for that matter. But yeah, if we started talking about which artists I listen to and whatever, then we would be here for a long time. I'll try and see if I can not mess up the wires too much and show you my CD collection. Yes, there we go. So, one of the sorry, there's my food. One of the CD towers you can't really see from here, but it's like down. Yeah, there's the corner of it. So yeah, all this, all CDs, stacked up. It goes, it goes. I've been collecting CDs since I was like 14. It's been a whole thing. Yeah, Arif, he's no longer in the band, I don't think, which that's too bad. He had some like really good bass lines. There's a video I posted on Facebook back in the day of me covering Blood Meat when I was like, "Oh, cool, this is how you tap." But you guys probably good as well. Just haven't gotten the chance to give him much of a proper listen yet. Him more than you, drummer. Because yeah, Arif and Mo Carlson were like a great rhythm section. Let's see. Despite Icon, I love it. Despised Icon performed after I don't know how many years of being inactive. It was a bloodbath. No, it wasn't Despised Icon. It was Obey the Brave that I saw live. That had a couple of the some like it shared. They shared some band members. How do I feel about Bad Bad Not Good? I love them. I've got 2 tabs for them on my channel, Triangle and Speaking Softly, Speaking Gently. It's on their 4th album anyway. But yeah, I love their stuff. There's some of the breakdowns that they come up with in BBNG2 that are like, they go so hard. Yeah, I love BBNG. And yeah, it's cool that they're like pretty local to me as well. They were more local back when I lived in Toronto, but yeah, great guys. I don't know them in person, but I love their stuff. Confessions to Bra. Confessions? Bad, not good. Confessions. I don't. Oh, is that the name of the song? I was like listening to the full album stream on YouTube, so I didn't catch the like individual song titles. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wait, no. Confessions Part 2 is on the 4th record. I'll have to give that another listen. All right, best from 4. All right, sweet. I'll check that out once I'm no longer streaming. Oh wow, I've been here for an hour already. Look at that. But yeah, nice that we've got a good thing going there. Comments coming in. Love it, love it. So yeah, anyone watching this, you got any questions, comment, get at me. I mean, don't they have like the one sax player that like initially he was just collaborating with them a bunch, but then he became a full blown full blown band member? And then there's the keyboard player, I think, who left like a year ago to start his own stuff. Yeah, I'm loving the questions. Lots of recommendation stuff to check out, so it's awesome. Keep on keeping on. Oh, Cover Solutions did BB&G as well. That's cool. I didn't know that. Yep, there it is. Bad, Bad, Not Good in Your Eyes, featuring Charlotte, someone. Charlotte Day Wilson. Oh, this is old. All right, cool. Yeah, fair enough. Not being up to date on the band members. There's so many bands and so many band members. It's hard to all keep track of. Cool. There's one performance of theirs that I really enjoyed. It's they're playing the I think it's called the Boiler Room. That so it's like it's some basement in London, and they're just like tearing it up. I believe it's also that same like Boiler Room, whatever you want to call it, that got Yusuf Kamal on the map when they were just doing like an impromptu jam and it turned into a band. So yeah, that was cool. Yusuf Kamal's performance and that Boiler Room set also great. And Brownwood Recordings, that's the name I was trying to come up with. Brownswood, whichever it is, the label that Yusuf Kamal was on. Like if you check out their YouTube, it's like consistent quality. I don't have the names of the artists off the top of my head, but yeah, really been digging the variety coming out of them. Flying Lotus, is it BB&G that has the Flying Lotus cover? Kate Tranada, yeah, actually, I think Kate Tranada is one of the ones I have seen, and I was like really impressed by their Boiler Room set. Okay, yeah, BB&G covering Flying Lotus. Flying Lotus, I'll be honest, have pretty much like escaped my radar up to this point. I should probably rectify that. I'll just put it up here on my search bar so I remember to look them up later. Flying Lotus. Oh, it's a record producer. I thought it was a band. Oh wait, okay, I have heard some Flying Lotus before. There's that Kendrick Lamar song, or like a Flying Lotus featuring Kendrick Lamar, that's got the music video with like the two. It's like at a funeral, and you've got the two kids doing like some really sick dance moves on there. Yeah, cool. I do know a Flying Lotus then. Oh well, Thundercat. Obviously, he's a legend in his craft. You talking like Thundercat collaborating with Kendrick? Because yeah, I knew about that too. Or like Flying Lotus, I was not aware of. But yeah, Thundercat is also great at what he does. There's the Julia Plays Groove cover of Mac Miller. Well, words. The cover of What's the Use has Thundercat on bass, and so like there's a whole part in there. But the one Thundercat song, like the one song that I've tabbed that has Thundercat on involved, is Mac Miller doing. It was a Tiny Desk set. The name of the song is escaping me right now. Small Worlds. Oh, wait, no, it might be Small Worlds. Small Worlds. Anyway, it was Jerome something playing bass on it, and Thundercat was just sitting in the back with a shaker. And then the next song in the set was "What's the Use," and that's what they had him step up and play bass on for. Never Catch Me Now or no? Okay, I'll check that out. Thundercat. Yeah. What's the Use is the one that had Thundercat on bass. I was also just talking about this the song that they played in their set list before then, which is Small Worlds, which I have tabbed. Specifically the Tiny Desk version. Okay, cool. Small Worlds. I just found my video there. Yeah, whiz, you get it. Like he had that comment like after the song, like give it up for Thundercat on the shaker. In the video description, I even said like featuring Thundercat on the shaker. Black Qualls. Okay, I'll put that up in the search. Oh, it's a song by Thundercat. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, stuff to check out. Stuff to check out. I love it. Oh, okay. Let's see what Brandon had to say. How can I get access to your tabs as GPX files? I couldn't understand for Patreon. Okay, yeah, GPX is the format from Guitar Pro 6. So what I can do is, like, I use Guitar Pro 7, so the extension on those is .gp. But from there, I can, like, if you get at me and message me asking for like GPX files, what I can do is like open the Guitar Pro 7 file and convert it to a GPX file, and then I still have a copy of Guitar Pro 6, so I can like open that, make sure it's all good, and then send it your way. But yeah, you got any questions, just like please just message me. I like there's some stuff in my channel that I may not realize is confusing, like makes total sense to me, but others might be scratching their heads. So like if there's anything that you're not entirely sure about or you want clarification, like please let me know. Like I want the feedback. Yeah, a friend of mine actually has a similar thing about Thundercat. Like he loves his bass playing, but he doesn't like when he opens his mouth. Like his doesn't find his falsetto to be that convincing. MuseScore, I've just started getting used to. It's I have a couple of tabs that I made them on MuseScore as well because I'm like in talks with this one like music publishing site called Jellynote that would want to feature my tabs, but they don't take Guitar Pro. They only take MuseScore. So I've been in that program trying to like learn how it works, figure it out. Oh, okay, yeah. So how it works is it like you go on my Patreon and it's like there's different tiers, right? The $1 tier is like the one perk is you can vote on the weekly polls I put up for which song I'm going to tab the following Friday. And $3 and up, and all of the tabs that are higher than that. Once you become a patron at $3 and up, I get the notification. And as soon as I do, I add you to my Google Drive folder for bass tabs, and that's got like not every single one, but the vast majority of my Guitar Pro tabs. I got PDFs, and I've got MP3s of like the isolated bass parts as well. So yeah, so you. Join my Patreon at $3 and up, and then I add you to my Google Drive folder. Nowhere or Lewis Cole. Nowhere actually ended up on at least one of my polls before, but it didn't end up being like the winning option. Lewis Cole is great as well. Funny enough, I first heard of Lewis Cole when people were speculating that he was the drummer in Clowncore, because they never officially reveal their identities, but there's strong speculation that it's Lewis Cole on drums and Sam Gendel on saxophone, based on their YouTube posting histories and both of those people's like individual like musical histories. So if you're into some like way out of left field random jazz fuckery, check out clowncore. Yeah, I mean, like, we're all pretty sure it's them, but that's just it. Like, they never fully confirm that it's them. At least I don't think. If they've revealed their identities, I have not heard of it. But yeah, there's videos from like almost 10 years ago at this point when they were both still in college and they were just doing like, it seemed like it was just like a one-off gag, but then they started taking it seriously and somehow Adult Swim picked them up. So yeah, it's been a whole thing. The Louis Cole song I'm probably the most familiar with is I think it's called "Mean It." Yeah, that's pretty much it, Daniel. A bunch of suffering and then smooth jazz. Well, they were like on the like it was Adult Swim's YouTube channel for a second that was uploading Clowncore's material. So yeah, I can only assume that they picked them up. I don't know the like full nitty gritty details of it. Is like this is me speculating for the most part, but yeah. I've got a lot of tabs open now on my browser just from all the recommendations I've been getting in this live stream. So yeah, thanks for all of the recommendations. I'm gonna stick around a bit longer, but I don't think I'm gonna be live streaming past like 2 p.m. my time, which is well wherever it is your time. It's in half an hour, so if you've got any burning questions, I would ask them sooner rather than later. I mean, of course, after my live stream is done, you can obviously ask me a question by like commenting on YouTube, messaging me on Reddit. I try and make myself available to messages. Oh yeah, let's hear it, Mark, sorry. Just gonna refill my water bottle real quick. I'm back. Okay. I'm still waiting for that comment from Mark. Says he has a request, which I'm pretty interested in hearing because he's been pretty active for this whole stream, which I appreciate. Like every one of you who's been commenting, love you. Otherwise, I'd just be talking to a wall and it'd be a whole lot more awkward and boring. You know what's great? Water. You should drink water more often. I'm extremely fortunate to live in Ottawa where the tap water's quality is amazing, but like totally get it if the water you have around isn't as good. But okay, all right, I'll stick around. You find what you're looking for, Mark. It's all good. Yeah, I'm glad I could help with that, Patrick. It's like I was saying earlier. A lot of it comes down to like when I was younger and I was starting out on bass. I didn't have the tabs for a lot of the songs I wanted to learn. So this, like me running this channel, is kind of like being there, like being the person I wanted to have around when I was 16 and starting out, pretty much. Which like is, I don't know, I was gonna get all philosophical there, but the words escape me. Yeah, nice to have you here, Daniel. Definitely look forward to hearing more from you, and if you end up finishing up that song that I tapped for you, I encourage you to send me what you come up with. So see you around. For the moment, I'm still here waiting for that request Mark has. And oh, he got it. All right, let's see what you got. Inner Wave. Aha! Inner Wave. There was some controversy with them last I heard of them. I actually had a patron like about a year ago, 2 years ago, who okay, so it's Eclipse by Inner Wave. But yeah, like I was saying, I had a patron who requested an Inner Wave tab, and like I did it, no problem. A couple weeks later, he's like, "Hey, could you tab this other song by Inner Wave?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And before I even got started on it, he messages me saying like, "Hey, actually, could I change my request for Inner Wave because there's like." Turns out that they were associated with what's his name again? Shane something. It's a French sounding last name. He was in Bane's World, and it was discovered that he was like really creepy and like sexual assaulty with girls. And then it got revealed that Interwave knew about it and didn't say anything about it. So he was like, as a consequence, I don't really want anything to do with them anymore. So could you change the song request? So since then, they've kind of been on a blacklist of mine. So I'll have to look it up, see if they've like atoned in any way, but yeah, that they're kind of like on a shit list because of that. But if you have any other requests, though, definitely send them. And it is too bad though about Interwave because like the one song of theirs I tabbed and the other music I've heard of theirs, like it's good music. It's just like that had to happen. It's like, yeah. So yeah, sorry to be the bearer of bad news on that. Yeah, it's like it's really too bad, but like, yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. All right, yeah, cool. Because that you understand. Because yeah, there would be some people that are like, oh, what do you mean? It's like separate the art from the artist. It's like I have a hard time with that. But yeah, you got any other songs? Like, let me know, and like I can maybe like take a look at putting them on a poll or whatever. Like, actually, I think that's what I might have done after my previous live stream where like I was chatting with people with out of all the requests I got in, like I just made that the list for my my Patreon poll. But anyway, uh, oh no. If they're South American bands, like it's fine. Like I did a song by Banda Los Chinos a couple months ago, weeks or months. It's not been that long, and yeah, I'm totally open to like tabbing bands all over the world. Like I've tabbed some bands from like Russia, Japan, Indonesia, Thailand. What else we got? Australia, New Zealand, Canada, obviously the States. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you saw that tab then. So you're like, yeah, if you got requests by South American. Oh, there we go. There's the request. Natalia Ila Forquentina Casa and Elephant Jim. I will check that out as well. Thank you. Thank you. Cool. An underrated bass player. I'm into that. Whoops. I just did a copy paste there. So the Google search there was Elephant Jim is really cool. I didn't get a whole lot of results. Hey, Alex. Good to see you, man. Alex is also someone that I know. Well, AC official is what you'll see in the comments. But yeah, I've known him since I was in grade 12. We were in this like music program that they took like musically inclined students from the same school board and put us all in the same church basement, and we wrote songs, recorded them, and performed them to elementary and high school kids. It was a great time. And it was my first real experience with playing live. And yeah, thanks. And congrats on the, I think you hit 250 recently as well, which I mean is its own milestone as well. Like it took me a while to get to 250 subscribers. I was uploading for like a solid year, I think, before I got to that point. Even the robbery, yeah. So, towards the end of our time in that music program, like in that church basement, some people with a pickup truck went and stole like half of our gear. The only thing of mine that I lost personally was a bass strap, but there was the one guy who lost like 2 prized guitars. It was awful. 300 by the end of June, good stuff. And like anyone seeing this, if you're into like alternate mixes of songs from like 70s, 80s, 90s, usually is what he'll tackle. But like he like there's some really cool like alternate takes. Like he's got a Aha Take on Me demo that's pretty cool. He's got an alternate vocal, or like it's kind of alternate isolated vocals you'll hear a lot where like I don't know, words are hard, but yeah, alternate mixes. Definitely check out Alex. He's been doing this for like almost 10 years, if not more, at this point. He's got a good ear for like what sounds cool, and like where to find the stems for songs, like the isolated instruments. Like at one point he messaged me saying like, here's all this list of songs that like he somehow found all the stems for. So I was able to hear some isolated Dream Theater bass as a result. That was cool. Los Hermanos. All right, sweet. I'll add them to the list as well of stuff to check out. Yeah, it's awesome seeing some people I know in real life show up here. All we're missing now is John. Some of you might know him, John the Fondo. He posts a lot of bass covers, like extra funky covers on YouTube, and he's also a lot more active on Fiverr than I am. So he's got a couple videos talking about his experience being a session musician on there. I think the channel is just called Fondo, like FAWNDOE. He might show up, he might not. He has before. I've showed up to his live streams before. We're friends. But if he doesn't show up, that's cool too. Can't control people's schedules. I kind of just sprung this live stream on everyone, so can't expect everyone to follow everything I do at all times. Awesome. Oh man, that robbery. I hadn't thought of that in a while. I don't know, Alex, if you remember Mel at all, but I still talk with her pretty often. She was in that same group as well. Fernando Galvez says play. I don't know what Fernando Galvez means by play. Does Fernando Galvez want me to play bass? Does Fernando Galvez want me to play a video? What does Fernando Galvez want? Because if it's playing bass, my fingers are on a bit of a bed rest at the moment. I played way longer than usual yesterday, and I've got some mad blisters going on. So sorry about that. All right, yeah, I'll stick around for another all right. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Sorry, words. I'm getting a bit unfocused, so yeah, I'm gonna cut this live stream pretty soon, like in 5 minutes or so. So any other questions, send them now. But yeah, after this, I'm just gonna go and do my own thing. It's surprisingly, it starts to get a bit exhausting when it's just like talking to myself this whole time. I mean, technically, it's just me alone in this room, right? There's all a few online, but it's a weird environment. Like humans were not evolved to do this kind of thing. Memorizing songs, yes, I do have tips for that. Learn individual parts, and like, so you got the, let's say, the first part of the song, and you learn the first like 10 seconds, and you play it over and over and over and over and over, and you get those 10 seconds down pat, and then you move on to the next part, and you focus on that part. You focus, and you got that part good. So once you've got all of your individual parts like hammered down, nailed, memorized, that's when you can work on transitioning. Okay, this part goes into that part, goes into this part, goes into that part, and eventually, like, I mean, that's how I did it to learn those whole albums. It's like you at least as far as like pre-recorded songs go, it's different when you're playing live, but the pre-recorded songs, like for me, I use all sorts of like audio cues. I know when this sound happens, I go on to this part. But obviously that might not work with everyone. I'm just saying that's how I do it. That's what's worked with me. Hey Joe, I'm glad to have you here, and I'm glad you like my channel. I mean, I do it for people like you. I want people to be able to learn their favorite songs, and I'm able to help, so I want to help. And it's something my wife and I try and like focus on. Like her, she's a tutor, and she wants to be the person that she needed when she was younger. Like the people she tutors are usually younger, and she's like the role is like a tutor mentor, so she can also like tell them some life advice based on her lived experiences. So it's great that she gets to see a difference in the people that she helps. And same goes for me. Like I want to be the person that I needed 10 years ago when I was first playing bass. So since that was my experience, I can only assume that like there's a whole bunch of bass players out there who are also in the same boat, because let's be real, bass players are tend to be not that saying good would be harsh, but there's this perception that bassists are failed guitarists. Me personally, I focused on the bass. I can't play guitar to save my life, but yeah, a lot of there's this stereotype that bass players aren't that good at music, and I hate to say it, but in a lot of cases that's held up. So it's awesome to be able to be there and help bassists like figure out how to actually play their stuff. Yeah. My Gingy, I wasn't expecting that tap to blow up like it did, but it's been great seeing all the reception to it. That's Sunset Roller Coaster. That's when I was listing all the countries who's like that they're all the countries that I've tabbed songs from. If that makes anyway. Sunset Roller Coaster, the band who did my Gingy, they're from Taiwan. So there's another country that I've covered in my tabbing. There's also a handful of Mexico. There's the band Los Chinos from Argentina, and I believe there's also a tab from Costa Rica I did like a year ago. I don't have much of a plan. Like the way I work is on Tuesdays I upload an exclusive tab on Patreon. Those who are on the $5 tiers and up get to have that one extra tab a week, and those tabs are usually based on like what my monthly what my patrons are requesting, basically. So when it comes to actually, you know what, I'm going to go into my Patreon. I'm going to look at the poll I started yesterday, and I'll tell you which song's in the lead. So it'll give you an idea of what song I might be tabbing next. Obviously, this is not a guarantee. It might turn out that like it gets outvoted by another song, but let me just go in there. Okay, posts published. I'll get that for you in a second. Okay, so based on this. Oh, okay. So it's looking like at the moment, Honeymoon by Mac DeMarco is in the lead. That song is really interesting because it's actually a cover of another Japanese artist. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but that song was in Japanese, and Mac DeMarco covering Honeymoon also sings in Japanese. So yeah, that's the song currently in the lead on my poll. So that might be the song you see me upload next Friday. Yeah, no problem, Sam. Like, glad to have you here. I'm glad I'm able to help you with your bass explorations. But anyway, this is where I am going to cut it short for now. So it's been wonderful having you all with me. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. What's your question? I'll answer that before I go. How hard would it be to tab something like The Dead? What, like the Grateful Dead? Yeah, I guess, yeah. I don't see why I couldn't do that. I just never had it as a request before. I don't listen to the Grateful Dead all that much, to be honest, but yeah, should be decent bass. I assume it's a live performance you'd want to see a tab of, because Grateful Dead are more known for their live output than their studio output. But how hard it would be, I guess it depends on like how hard he's playing. Like if it also, a lot of it depends on how audible the bass is in the first place. So if it's stuff like death metal, you can hardly hear what they're playing at all. But like when the bass is audible, even if it is a more complicated bass line, if I can hear all the notes, I can tab all the notes. Because of my process, I've got Audacity going side by side with Guitar Pro, so I can like stretch it right out and play them side by side and like be able to get a good idea of like, okay, that doesn't sound quite right. Let me get in there, tweak with it a bit, and then boom, that's the right note. So yeah, that's a very quick overview of my process when it comes to tabbing by ear. So if you want me to like check out a Grateful Dead tab or whatever, just like leave a comment on any of my videos and make the request, and I'll check it out. And if it's good, I'll put it on my Patreon poll. Yeah, cool. So yeah, thanks again, Sam, and everyone else that's been around watching me ramble. Like, it's amazing that you've gotten me to this point. I would love to keep continuing. And awesome that you want to be joining my Patreon. Yeah, there's a lot of perks on there. I think you'll enjoy it. But anyway, salutations and farewells to everybody. I love you all, except for the racists, and I will see you next time I see you. I know I talked about like doing live streams more often, but life is getting in the way. But like I'm not done with the live streaming series on like how I do my stuff, so keep an eye out for that. But for the moment, peace out.